Hello there, welcome back. So let's work in the geometry. So here we have our problem definition. Now we go 3D. Okay, as you see, it's a simple geometry, but I will show you a few things. So first, let me do it in Design Modeler, then I will show you a space plane. So in Design Modeler, so remember to do geometry. So open Workbench, save your case, put it whatever you want, and you have here geometry. Okay, put geometry tab there, and now see here, right click and see that by default Ansys will propose your space plane, but we want to use Design Modeler. So select Design Modeler and it will launch. So remember, Design Modeler is a proper parametric CAD. It's not as friendly as some other commercial options, so such as SolidWorks, Onshape, Solid Edge, stuff like that. But it's a parametric, it works, but can be a little bit tricky to use. And then Space Cleanse is a solid modeler. Okay, very I really like, okay, very powerful. However, it lacks a little bit the parameterization that you can get with a professional CAD software. In any case, we're going to work with both tools. So remember that to create a 3D solid, as I mentioned, you need to start from 2D sketches. Okay, so basically what we have here, this geometry, we have this pie, this circular section. So we can take this approach, create this profile, and then just extrude that profile. So let's do that. Okay, so you choose a working plane. I will choose that I would like to sketch here. So you select this one, and remember here, you have new sketch, select, and now you have access to the sketching tools. Okay, so now you put there normal to the plane, and in our case it's a circle, so you can choose whatever you want. You have many tools. Okay, you can draw, then modify. You have stuff like fillet, chamfer, trim. You add dimensions, so it's up to you to play. Okay, here you add constraints. I will show you that just to force a point to be coincident with something. And then here you can add the grid if you want to put it, so see that and then you can control all the spacing and everything. So in my case, I'm not going to put that. I'm okay like this. I'm just going to draw. So I will put a circle, and voila. Okay, you have it there. So remember that we were talking about that you sketch and then you can add dimensions. So you have the circle and I add dimensions, and in this case for us is 0.1. So see that now I have my circle there. Probably I want to move this dimension, put it closer there. So now fit the screen here. Let me move it again. So you have it there, okay, your circular section. But one thing that unless for you it's important the height to do some setup in the CFD simulation. It doesn't matter where you put this origin, okay. But for instance, my advice is just to put it always in the 0, 0, 0, no, to center everything. So look at that, I put it there. And now I want to put it concentric to this one. So just to show you again something that I can go again and draw another circle and see that when I move and you see that P there, P means that that one is centered with the origin, with that point. Okay, it can be this origin or a point that you have there. C, it is on that line. Okay, so in this case centered with the axis line, but it can be with any edge that you have in the geometry. So I could have done like this and draw everything, but I put it there just to show you how to add the constraint. So look at that. If I go constraint now, I will say I want to use this one. Let's say coincident. Okay, so I want to make this point coincident with this here. Okay, so I don't see the origin there. Okay, so I don't see the origin there, so I will need to draw. So in this case, it make it coincident with this axis. So I will need to draw the origin. So I will need to put let me put a construction point. So see that, put it there, and I have it perfectly there. So let me do now again that constraint coincident. And let me make this one coincident with this point that I have there. And see that now you have there that one. Okay, so just to make sure that I took the longest path. Okay, I could have done this way. Okay, choose the circle, put it there, and then you have a coincident there. Okay, but I choose the longest okay, the longest path, just to show you. So it's up to you. I recommend you always to center everything in the origin. Okay, so now that you have this one, remember this is a sketch. You have it there constrained, and we need to convert this one into surface to do the operations that you have here to create solids. So you go in concept, surface from sketches, select this sketch, apply, and here I recommend you just to choose add frozen, and see that you have there that surface that now exists as a part. Okay, so we were talking that when you go to meshing, you always want to have one single part, but okay, so as we keep creating more parts and stuff, you just suppress, right click and see that you can suppress. For the moment, I don't want to suppress. And now that you have this, what we can do is extrude, select the face, this one, you see that it's selected here. As user, I recommend you to use their add frozen, and then see here that you have direction. Okay, so you can give it there, and then here you have length 7 meters, generate, and here we have our pipe. Okay, easy peasy. Okay, so let me go back because I think that okay, so we have it there, everything fine, cool. So this is one way to create this pipe. Okay, but we have, there is not only this way, there are many ways to do this. Okay, just to show you another alternative. So this one we were using extrude, this option. We can use also revolve. Revolve, we can create a section, a rectangular section, and revolve around an axis. So how to do that when I want to do another sketch? So I will choose now the plane Y sit, this one, put in a sketch there, and now I move there. So see that as I said, I put something there, and then you just give dimensions. So now let me give dimensions. So I want this one to be, let's say, 0.1. See that you have it there, and now I want to give this dimension also be 2, so it will 7, and voila, you have this. And now what you can do is revolve this surface around an axis. But just to mention something as well about constraints, so I can constrain this to be in this line or be in this one. So remember that you have the constraint. So let's say that I want to do this line coincidence with this one. Okay, so see that you have it there. You can also put lengths. Okay, you have many constraints there. Okay, and for instance, the length one, let me add, okay, let me add a dimension. Okay, so will be, okay, let me add the dimension between this and this. Okay, so I want to put it perfectly, let's say at 0.5, okay, or 1, it's up to you. Okay, so see that as you have this constraint, these cannot change. Okay, and this one will drive everything. Okay, so we have that, and let's say that I'm done. As you have your sketch there, remember that we want to convert it to a surface from sketches. As the user, I recommend you to add frozen, and you have there that one. So the next operation I want to do is revolve. So revolve will tell you, see here, geometry, select something. So we want to select a surface, apply there, and then the axis. I want to revolve around this axis or this axis. You can choose the axis. In my case, is this. As usual, I recommend you add frozen there. Okay, axis, and generate. And see that you have it there. So in this case, remember this is 0.2. Okay, remember that. So you can click, if you click here, this one, see here that, okay, now it's this. It's giving you the length, but also can, okay, there is somewhere the option that will give you the diameter, but we know that this one is 0.1, but as this is parametric, I just go 0.05, generate, and you have it there like this one. So see that 2 ways to generate, and there are many ways to do this one. Okay, I don't want to go, but I just want to show you the most important options here to create solids. Okay, so we have same solid here, and see that you have it here, here, and the construction surfaces. So just to show you, for instance, another way that what we can do is create a path, a line, and then I can attach a profile to that line, and do a sweep. Okay, so just to show you how to do that one. So again, I will plot in these planes YZ. So I will do it here, a new plot. Okay, normal, and let me enter. Okay, but let me put it here. Let me, so just to show you to make it clear now, I will choose, instead of a straight line, I will put there and a spline, and see that I will put here, here, and it will up to here. Okay, right click and see open add, and I have this spline. Okay, I can add dimension, so I can say that horizontal. Okay, or okay, splines, it's tricky to add dimension, but anyway, because we have this, and what I want to do now is to attach a profile to this line, and then this profile will follow this line. Okay, so basically, and here I will show you another option which is important when you are doing parametric CAD. You need to create support geometries or support planes. So I need to sketch another profile here, but that profile that I want to sketch, you can select this plane here that you have there in that one, but that plane is not perpendicular to that line. Okay, so we need to create somehow here another plane. So there are options, but I will show you. So we need to have here, is you go to create new plane. Here you can create new planes, support planes, and see here that you have many options. We're going to use point and normal. You select the point and a normal. Okay, so let me erase it and let me go back. So let me right click here and put here always show the sketch. So sometimes it will hide it. I want to have it visible. So we have the point here. If I select here, you have the point there. Okay, you select that one when you create that one, you have the point, but you are missing the normal. So let's create the normal. Okay, so to create the normal, see the option that we are going to use. Here you have this tangent line. Select the point and see that this line is tangent there. And here you have the normal. So one thing that I'm not going to do it like this, because remember, I am attaching a profile here that is going to follow this line, but this normal that you just added belongs to this one, so this is kind of not compatible having like this. Okay, so just that was just to show you. Okay, so Control-C, undo. So what I'm going to do better, so you know that we're sketching here, this is this sketch, let's create another sketch here. Go here, and this sketch will access these points. You have access to that information. So I will do it in a separate sketch. See that you access there, and you have it there. Okay. So see that now you have independence. So this is the path that you're going to follow, and this is the normal to create that support plane. So you go here, new plane. You have many options. Okay. So you have the default planes. This one X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. But you can create more planes. Okay, so this one we want to use point and normal. The point is this one, apply, and the normal is this one, apply. Okay, and see that it's asking you generate, and see that you have there the plane. See that it's a plane different from the base one. Okay, so now you go here in this support plane, sketch, and we want to sketch whatever. So in our case, we're doing all the circle, the pie, and see that, let me go here and see that the P there, probably you don't see it clearly, but as you're doing on your own, you will see you have a C that is on the line, and then there's a P that is coincident there with that point. You put there your circle or whatever you're doing, and now let me give dimensions. And dimensions, this diameter. And here you put whatever you want. Okay, so let me put here in this case 0.1. Okay, we're done. And see here that you have this profile. This is important to use the sweep. This profile needs to be attached to the path. So as usual, we need to create this one concept, a surface from sketches. Apply. As usual, I recommend you to use app frozen, generate. and see that you have it here. One thing that I'm seeing this path here, because remember I chose here always show a sketch, but sometimes some sketch they will be high because Ansys will hide automatically since to make to just to show you solid. Okay, so if you don't see a sketch in one point, just select there, always show, and you will see that sketch always. So now we select sweep. See, it's asking you profile. This is my profile. It has to be a surface, by the way. Select it. And now it's asking you the path. Okay, this one. Add frozen. You have some options there that you can play around, but you just go like this, and voila, you have this. So see, 3 different ways to create that pie. Okay, here I added now this spline just to show you now the curvature. Okay, and the power of this one, this is very powerful. And then you have a skin loft, which is very similar, but the loft will let you assign different profiles. So here you have a profile that is constant. With loft, you can put different profiles and it will do the loft. So you can create very organic shapes. Okay, works very similar. I'm not going into details to that. You can play with that later. So see that you have this, and then as I mentioned that you need to hide whatever you don't need. Okay, so remember when you move to meshing, you need to have one solid. Okay, so for instance, you want to use just the last one, just leave that. Okay, so you suppress. You have the option suppress, unsuppress, so unsuppress, and you choose. The last thing that I want to show you, okay, is that, for instance, you can also add transformation. So if you go here, create, see that you have these body operations. So you can translate, okay, these are more advanced that you need for the moment, but for instance, create, you have here body transformation. You can rotate, mirror, whatever you want. You can also do Boolean operation. Just to show you, I want to show you how they work. So for instance, I want to move, okay, okay, I want to, okay, give me a minute. Okay, so this one, so so the actions, body, okay, move, and source plane, okay, okay, that one is applying somewhere, so body operation, okay. Okay, these are something else. So okay, let me go back, and we have create and Boolean, so it should be this one. Okay, okay, sorry, it's translate. I want to translate. I want to translate this body. Okay, and you can choose a direction. Okay, so you have the line, a reference line, you can choose it here. Okay, see that it will move in this direction. So look at that, I will select that direction, and here see the distance 1, 2, okay, or -1. Okay, so let me put it here, -1.5. Generate. Okay, probably was too much. Okay, so I will show you what I want to do, 1.1. And you have it there. Okay, so see that I translate my geometry, and see that now it's intersecting the another one. Okay, so you have all these options here. Okay, body transformation, mirror, whatever, play with those. But now see that I want, for instance, create a union between these two. Then you have another tool, very important, Boolean. Okay, so for instance, unite, it will unite those two solids into one single solid. Okay, so see that that one becomes that one, but you have different actions for that one. So let me edit, and you can choose, for instance, I want just the subtraction, okay, of these two. Okay, so this, and see that you have this subtraction of those, or you can just get the intersection. So you have all the options there, you can play with there. So for instance, let me get the intersection. So I have those two bodies, and this is the intersection of those two bodies there. Okay, so for instance, and let me leave that one. For instance, suppress, and suppressing this one, you get the original, and then the translate, you can suppress it and you get the original. Okay, so you can suppress operations there. So what you see here, everything that we have done is parametrical. Okay, so if I change something, everything will update. So this is very important when you are creating parametric caps. Think about the parameterization, okay? Because you want to update everything in a few quick operations, not changing parameters, okay? So think about that. As you have seen, there is no single way to do a geometry. It's up to you how to choose, but usually also it's a good idea to take the easiest one. Okay, this is one. So for instance, in this case, this is one, might be this one, create the circle and extrude, okay? And think about also the parameterization, okay? So it's up to you. So just to end and to move to the meshing part, okay? But before moving to the meshing part, then we're going to do the same geometry where I will show you space cleans. But just to show you that, remember that when we move to meshing, we need to have a single part here. So see that I want to hide or suppress all this surface, I don't need it. Suppress, and now you have this single one, okay? These caches, they are not exported, and as I mentioned, it's a good practice. It's not compulsory, but it's a good practice. Put it there solid, put a name if you want to change that name, and we're done. Okay, so you have your solid here, and now let's move to the next video. Thank you for your attention. Okay, but before ending, so remember, we close here. You have this one, says the project every now and then the next video we're going to move here, and now we're going to create a new geometry with using space cleans. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Bye.